Today we're going to try to make what I call a stained glass looking butterfly. Since butterflies are very spring-like, so what we're going to need is a white piece of paper, a black piece of paper, ruler, something to draw on the white piece of paper that you can see to cut out, and then some markers. So we're going to start by making the butterfly part. So what we're going to do is take our black piece of paper and we're going to fold it in half. And like always, we take our paper in both hands, we push one side to the other, we align it, and then we push it down. So now we're going to draw the butterfly, and it's totally up to you how you make it, but since it's a folded one, we're just going to do half the butterfly, and then when we cut it out, it'll be the whole butterfly. So I'm going to try and do head and antenna, and then a wing, and another wing. So there's my butterfly. Now I'm going to cut it out and see how it looks. Again, practicing our curve cutting. Remember how we get the open scissors right up to the corner, big open mouth scissors, and then turn that paper, not our scissors. Notice I slow down for my tiny cuts because I know they're going to be harder. I'm going to get rid of this extra paper so that's not in my way. Shift my hands. Let's see what this looks like. Okay. Now I'm going to want to make him a little bit smaller, so I'm going to trim his wings just slightly. And you can make your butterfly as big or as small as you want. You're going to want one, though, that takes up a fair amount of the paper, but we're going to try and keep him on the paper. My guy was a little bit too big. Okay, so there's our butterfly. And now what we want to do is we're going to cut out parts of this wing area because we're going to fill that with color. So I am going to, you can take a pencil or your crayon and kind of draw where you want to cut. Take a crayon, again, pencil, whatever works. And I'm going to want to cut on this line. And it doesn't have to be an outline line. You could make shapes like that. So I'm going to try doing that. I'm going to keep it folded so that I only have to do it one time and that they look the same on either side. So when I'm trying to do a cut that's inside something, I can't start out here, obviously, or I'm going to cut off the part I want. So I'm just going to fold the paper over a little bit or bend it. I don't want to make a crease because it's not actually a fold. We just want to be able to get our scissors in there. So I just bend it a little bit, big snip, and then I can fit my scissors inside and cut towards my line. And this takes a lot of shifting, a lot of rotating of the paper. So again, I'm going to bend my paper, not fold because I'm not creasing it. I'm going to snip, make a hole, get my scissors in, cut to the line, and then start our normal cutting process. And so now we have a butterfly with some interesting pieces cut out. And like I said, you could also cut out parts here. You could do tiny dots there. I might do that actually. And now we have our outline butterfly all cut out. So now we're going to do the stained glass portion. So we're going to set our butterfly aside. Now we need our ruler. Now, if you don't trust your lines, you can start with a pencil and then go over it with a marker. Now, these lines don't have to be exact. So these lines are going to be just kind of free-form lines to make different shapes on the paper. So you can do them anywhere and everywhere. You don't have to go all the way across. But we want to do a fair amount of them because they're all going to be different colors, and we want a very colorful background as well as colorful butterfly. I want you guys to continue to practice those ruler skills, so lining it up to where you want it, holding it in the middle, putting a lot of pressure, moving that dominant hand around, and keeping it level the whole time. Do a couple more. Okay, so now I'm going to outline all of my pencil and marker. And that's why, since I'm going to have to realign, it's good for practicing alignment to do it again, but if you want to start off with the marker, that is okay, because otherwise you're kind of doing it twice. But make sure if you do it with the marker that you get a really thick line, because again, we're making stained glass, so we want that black line to stand out. You can also use a fat tip marker, so it has that big angle on it, and then you can angle the marker so that you only have to go over it one time. Okay, so I'm going to do this one here. Fat part down, slide. I'm going to go ahead and finish all these lines. So, since there is no rhyme or reason, doing this first in marker is definitely a good choice, because we're just practicing straight lines. There's no rhyme or reason exactly to where I put these lines, so you can't make them incorrectly if you keep that ruler steady and make a straight line. So feel free to skip the pencil step unless you want more practice with the ruler. Okay, so now we need to glue our butterfly down. So since I have line on this side, that's the side I want to put the glue on so that you can't see that. I have this scrap paper here because sometimes these markers tend to bleed through, and in order to keep your table or whatnot undamaged, might be a good idea. So I'm going to push him down. Okay, so now we're going to work with kind of warm colors and cool colors. So kind of the first half of the rainbow, red, orange, yellow is going to be one group, and then green, blue, purple, and those kind of colors is another group. So you're going to take one group, like red, orange, yellow, and that will be the inside, maybe pink. That'll be the inside of the butterfly. And then green, blue, purple, kind of your cooler colors, is everything that's outside. And you can also switch it. You can have the inside of your butterfly be these colors and the outside be the warm colors. So it's up to you. I'm going to do warm colors on the inside. So I'm going to take a color and I'm going to go down. So this is coloring where we don't want to have a bunch of different kinds of movement, because it's going to look cleaner if we don't. So we're just going to try and go in one direction as much as possible. And then take another color and do the next window down, the next part of the window, I should say. See how all my strokes are in the downward motion. It's kind of tricky to do on the edges. If you can't do it, that's okay. Okay, so there's that one. Try and fill in any white parts that you might see. And then I take like a pink and I do it in this one. So I'm going to finish. Colors. And then I'm going to do the outside ones, those cool kind of colors. My blues, greens, and purples. And as you can see, I tried not to have the same color next to the same color, but if you do, that is not a big deal at all. And that is our stained glass butterfly. And I know that's a lot of coloring, so if you wanted to take a different approach and do some paint, you could do that. You could take some construction paper and cut it up into tiny bits. You could take some paint samples and cut those up, and you just make some tiny shapes and cuts, and then you could just glue them in to the spaces, which is another option. So, but a fun spring project.